Please, Najib is no reformer. If you think that Barisan will change because this is a reformist Barisan, it's just a ruse. No. They've got so much to hide, they cannot afford to be accountable. They cannot afford to be transparent. They cannot. If you want change, this is the change. Pakatan is your only hope. We have to get together. And this is where I want to propose to Brian and members of the committee. I don't know how many Malaysians live overseas. Some people say 300, 400, 500,000. Some people say more. But regardless, that's a huge number. And I would urge you to seek to engage with the Election Commission. Give yourself the right to vote. Why can't you vote? Why should postal ballot be confined to the office, to the military and the police only? Why not citizens of Malaysia all over the world? What's so difficult about that? And you should, if necessary, go and get a court order, go and get a declaration of some kind, do something. You have a duty, I believe. One of the best things you can do for us, highlight the difficulties we face under our election law. Our election commission is so biased. But we cannot just let them rest. We must persevere. You must insist on your right. You have a constitutional right to vote. And therefore, a responsible government must facilitate that right, the exercise of that right. Secondly, you have friends, you have relatives, you have people in Malaysia. They must sacrifice themselves for the cause. They must do whatever they can. They have to, if you have to register, you go and register. We have got millions of voters still that can register as voters. They can make the difference. We'll have to do that. And I think if we can get this done, we'll win the next election. There is no amount of cheating, no amount of unfair practices and tactics can defeat the 15 million Malaysians who can vote. No. I believe that Sarawak and Sabah will change. Perhaps not as much as we would like, but it will change. We will have more seats in Sabah and Sarawak. We will have more seats. And we will be able to do well in Peninsula as well. Today, even on the issue of voter registration, they have played the racial card all the time. You know, you have statements from UMNO youth. Well, look at all the Chinese, they are registering, you know. Look at the Malays. They have not. Even on a simple thing like that, they play the race card, just to incite us. If you are so interested in people voting, why don't you just do automatic registration? You have all their names in the IC, in the National Registration Department. Declare that all these people are eligible voters. Why can't you do that? Because they know the people will vote Pakatan Rakyat. That's why. Before the last election, we had agreed, well, even Barisan, I was in Barisan, I knew them. You know the indelible ink. We wanted to make sure that all these accusations of people voting twice would not happen, of phantom voters and all that. So we wanted the government to spend money on the indelible ink. And it was agreed, actually. The Elections Commission had prepared it. They even purchased the ink. I don't know how much it cost, a couple of $1 million to spend taxpayers' money. 4 days before the election, we said no. You know why? Because they're scared. Because they want to cheat. So this is a government that's tottering. You know, in 2008, you see that, and they are still doing the same. They only know how to bribe. That's all their strength. They only know how to bribe. Recently, they have increased 500,000 allocation to the MPs, Barisan MPs, of course. But that's all they know. They think that with money, they can win. We want to show to them that, yes, we need money. We need to have logistical support. but we have the people's heart with us. We have the people's heart. I think we've got 2 more speakers, so I don't think I should take too much more. I just want to say this, that all said and done, we are at this point in the country. We could easily become a fascist dictatorship if we are not careful. We could change to that. Do you know the features of a fascist government? Do you know what it takes? We can see the trends already. When you start banning newspapers, you're arresting leaders, you're charging people for sedition, and you create false charges against your political leaders. And when you pit one race against another, and when you manufacture your enemies as you deem fit, and when you talk about nonsense as national policies, that's the sign of an emerging fascist government. We cannot afford to let that happen. We have to work hard as a people, together, to stop this. Because our children deserve better. I have spent 30 years of my life in politics. But you're not much younger. But it is a mission that we can fulfill, we can overcome, we can be successful. I believe the people of the country wants this change. And it is just getting together and fighting together and being in complete solidarity. Inshallah, we'll win. Thank you very much.